Hey, what's up, good people? Welcome back to Stock Up with Larry Jones. As you can see on this hot Saturday that I am in Studio C. If you're new to the page, hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell. We concentrate on making money here, not getting greedy and not panicking, especially on days like today, right? But I have a ton of bad news. It's bad, it's all bad, good people. But I want to shine a light on the opportunities that are presented when we have such bad news. There's so much bad news, I had to take notes. All right, so we got softening earnings. All right, the big tech has been reporting this week, and softening earnings were really, even when we get a beat, it is not good. And as I'm making this video right now, my phone was letting me know that Bonk was down another 4.9%. Crypto is cranking, or crypto is crashing. All right, we'll get to that. All right, unemployment rise. Okay, so unemployment is rising. That's not good for you and me, but we know that the Fed was looking for that, for interest rates. Okay, we'll discuss more of that tomorrow on the Sunday. But unemployment is rising, and that is signs that a recession is inevitable. Okay, inevitable. I jacked that word up. Let's go. It's coming, right? We don't know when. We don't know. Is it going to be this year? Is it going to even be in 2025? Could it be 2026? We don't know. We're overdue for a correction or crash, right? But there's more bad news before I get to what I want to tell you guys. Sorry. The geopolitical situation is ramping up in the Middle East. All right, we got Iran threatening to retaliate on Israel. Okay, and you know how it goes. If Israel is in an all-out war, so is the United States. We have to get involved, right? Because of the partnership we have, the relationship that the U.S. has with Israel. You know how war goes. It's ugly. War is ugly. War is not good. But there's a lot of money to be made in wars, and a lot of countries enter into wars. And then when there's presidential cycles, let me leave that alone because some of y'all can't take the truth. Presidential cycles, if there's a war that breaks out, usually the incumbent president stays put because of instability. They don't want that, okay? So that's just one of the things, all right? Let's keep it moving. I talked about crypto. Crypto is crashing. Every time I get a notice from my broker, it is, this is dropping, that's dropping, this dropping, that's dropping. Just look at your crypto, you're going to see negative, right? Almost nothing is running right now in crypto, right? So crypto is following the stock market. But we were prepared for this, good people. You know, we were prepared. I've been saying it. This summer, crypto's not going anywhere. The crypto bulls is like, oh, Trump is going to pull it from the brinks and he's going to send it to the moon. No, he ain't. Nobody is. Nothing's going to change the fundamentals of crypto. And so I continue to buy. I continue to DCA. I continue to save a little dry powder for a flash crash. And when the flash crashes come, that's when I go in outside of my DCA, dollar cost average, and actually buy my favorite cryptos. Okay, big tech is tanking. Of course, it was reporting, but it has been falling. Big tech was falling before the earnings. Look at Nvidia, it was going down before the earnings. Look at Amazon, it was sinking before earnings and then fell more, right? So big tech is already under threat, and big tech usually takes a hit in environments like this, and the bottom is not in for big tech, right? The chip makers are officially in a bear market. Just pull up a list of all the chip stock and you will see a bloodbath of red. And the chip sector is in a bear market right now as we speak. The Dow on yesterday dropped in one single day almost just under 1,000 points. The Dow dropped just under 1,000 points, and I think it was 1,700 points over Thursday and Friday. So all of this bad news, Larry, you're just coming with a ton of bad news. I'm sorry, I got more. The NASDAQ is in a correction right now, down 10%. The NASDAQ is in a correction from its highs, and it's down 10%. So for those of you that's saying how far can the market fall, it doesn't take long. Look at the NASDAQ, down 10% from its highs, but it doesn't take long for big drops like the Dow did to just drop 2 points, 2.5%. I mean, 1,000 points in a day. It doesn't take long in a skittish environment, which a lot of people are scared right now. And so now you got the big tech taking a hit. You got softening earnings, right? Unemployment rising, and you got the geopolitical situation that's happening. All of these things are weighing negative and causing fear in the market, in the stock market and crypto market. People don't care. They are pulling their money, all right? And they just holding it, they clutching their pearls with their money, all right? And you guys know, you've seen that meme, all right? And so it's like this, Dave Chappelle holding his money. So I'm just gonna tell you guys that you need to have an aggressive attack ready when everyone else is in fear. You need to start like a marksman looking for what you're going to get, because in the long run, there's going to be opportunities. Now, the geopolitical situation, usually something happens. There's always a breakout win, like I've been teaching you guys on weekends. Remember, it's always weekends, not always, but most of the time it's weekends. Now, something could happen Monday or whatever, or in a Wednesday. I'm not saying that this has to happen on a weekend, but you gotta be watchful on weekends, because that's when a lot of the bad news happens. Political people dropping out, weekends, wars starting, attacks starting, weekends, and then Monday's market reflects. So be careful of holding heavy options over weekends during this environment, okay? I've been warning people, right? If you're in gains in a option, sometimes it's best to lock in profit rather than risk losing it all. All right, look at this. When the market drops, remember that the stock market is a vehicle that transfers wealth or money from the impatient to the patient. This is what I want to tell you. The stock market is a vehicle that transfers wealth from the impatient to the patient. We patient here. We ain't scared. We prepared. I said ain't. That's how we make money in times of fear. As a matter of fact, times like these are the times that I make moves that make me the most money, even over flipping options, okay? I'm just telling you what Larry does. I'm not telling you what to do. So think about this. When you hear about a CEO of these like losing big money, right? Like NVIDIA, the CEO of Jason Hong, NVIDIA, right? NVIDIA in June lost over 500 billion in 3 days. Just think about that. 500 billion in 3 days, right? So let's look at what happened. Let's go back and let's look at what happened with gold. Gold hit an all-time high on Friday, but then had a sell-off towards close. That was good news. So, we have to keep an eye Sunday night and see what the pre-markets is, and then Monday early morning and see what the pre-markets is, and see is everything priced in, which it really could be, and see all of this an overreaction, which it could be, and see if some of the buying that you did was right, or something else happens geopolitically and the market further falls. Either way, you got to have a plan. But I just want you to think about that. The wealth transfer, according to Warren Buffett, the stock market being a vehicle that transfer money from the impatient to the patient. And think about this. When you hear about companies like Tesla, Apple, when you hear like Elon Musk losing like billions of dollars in a day, when you hear CEOs like Mark Zuckerberg losing hundreds of millions of dollars in a day, or Elon losing hundreds of millions in a day, always remember this, good people. That money went somewhere. And that's when you hear quotes, remember, there's a lot of valuable information in these quotes, good people. So when you hear that a company, Nvidia, lost 500 billion in one day, Jason Hong lost hundreds of millions, right? And some of these CEOs lose $1 billion, okay? In a short period of time. My eyes are red because of these allergies. I'm gonna put these back on. And just think about that. So if we listen to Warren Buffett and you and I are patient, where's that money going? Remember, when somebody sells a stock, somebody else bought it, and vice versa. When somebody buys a stock, somebody else sold it. So when somebody loses money, somebody else gained it. It doesn't go off into an abyss, right? We're talking about companies now. We're not talking about just printing endless money. We're talking about true wealth. So think about that. Where did that money go? So what happens is when the stock goes down and all of that liquidity is being sucked out, you and I swoop in at the right time, not just the first dip, and we buy it. And when you see 300 billion loss, you and I got it. That's the great wealth transfer, good people. I want you to consider thinking about that this weekend. So that's the good news. In times of fear like this, when the market is falling, you and I can gain wealth by buying low and just holding and waiting. Remember, institutions have to answer to other people. You and I only answer to ourselves, okay? Now we got Jasmine down 5%. I'm getting all of these notices, okay? And so just remember the same thing with crypto. While everything else is falling, that is how the transfer of wealth happens. And then if it was Sunday, I would tell you that I read in a great book that the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. And it's happening right before our eyes. We just need to know that it is true, it is real, it does work. Hey, if you want to know how I think and think like I think, take the class, Stock Up You. Okay, just take it. There's new stuff coming this fall. It's going to be a lot of great stuff. And for those of you that already have the class, you won't pay a dime more. Okay, I'm letting you know, if you're thinking about it, pull the trigger, get into class. And if you have the class, make sure you go back and study boom, bubble, burst, knowing where we are in this market and how much money it is to be made. Invest in yourself first, right? We'll see you Sunday. Live, love, laugh, and learn.